Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to dive into something that's at the absolute heart of our homes, our relationship with our dogs. Look, we all want to do what's best for them, right? But sometimes, even with the best intentions, we can get it wrong. So today, let's uncover the truth together.
So let me ask you a question. What if the most dangerous thing lurking in your house isn't some chemical under the sink or an old frayed electrical wire?
What if it's actually their food bowl? The one that's probably sitting on your kitchen floor right this second.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but you gotta stick with me on this one. Because here's the honest truth. A staggering 99% of us, people who absolutely adore our dogs, are making these silent, potentially harmful mistakes every single day. And the scariest part? You probably think you're doing everything right. So today we are going to break down 10 hidden feeding habits that could be silently taking years off your dog's life. And please listen very carefully for mistake number 7. It's the one almost everyone gets wrong until it's way too late. If you want to become the best pet parent you can be, you're in the right place. And hey, if you like what you hear, make sure you subscribe to our channel Love Dogs. All right, let's get started.
First up, let's talk about your daily routine. We're going to look at mistakes related to the schedule of feeding and activity. Because honestly, when it comes to your dog's health, timing really is everything. And that brings us to mistake number 1, the one-meal myth. Now I get it, it seems to make sense, give them one big meal to get them through the day. But I want you to imagine eating a huge Thanksgiving dinner at 8 in the morning and then nothing for the next 24 hours. You'd feel awful, right? What's the exact same for your dog? That one giant meal sends their body on a roller coaster, causing acid buildup. That's why you sometimes see that nasty yellow foamy vomit in the morning. A study from the University of Liverpool even found that dogs fed just once a day have higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Just by splitting that same amount of food into 2 smaller meals, you stabilize their body and you calm their mind. Now, speaking of timing, we need to talk about something that is genuinely terrifying. It's called gastric dilatation volvulus, or GDV. Most people just know it as bloat. And this is, without a doubt, one of the most critical, life-threatening emergencies a dog can ever face.
And this leads us right into mistake number 2, the deadly walk. Here's exactly how this nightmare happens. Your dog eats a big meal, which makes their stomach really full and heavy. Then you think, great, time for a run. But as they run and jump, that heavy stomach can start to swing inside them like a pendulum. And if it swings too hard, it can literally flip over on itself, trapping all the gas inside and completely cutting off the blood flow. It is agonizingly painful and, in many cases, fatal. The solution is so simple. Walk first, feed later. And always let them have at least an hour of calm rest after they eat. This tiny change in your routine could literally save their life.
Okay, so we've covered timing, but that's only half the battle. Now we've got to talk about what's actually going in the bowl and the bowl itself. This is where things get really interesting.
Which brings us to mistake number 3, the invisible poison in the bowl. I want you to do something for me. Go run your finger along the inside of your dog's water bowl. Feel that slime? That isn't just dog drool, my friend. It's a bacterial fortress called biofilm, and it is swarming with nasty stuff like E. coli and Listeria. Just rinsing the bowl with water does absolutely nothing to it. You have to start treating their bowls just like your own dishes. Hot water, soap, and a really good scrub every single day. No excuses.
All right, let's talk about the food itself with mistake number 4. Pet food marketing is genius. They show you these beautiful pictures of grilled chicken, fresh veggies, but the reality, as this quote points out, can be, well, a whole lot different.
And this table shows you exactly how they do it. It's a sneaky trick called ingredient splitting. So the label might list chicken as the very first ingredient, and you think, great. But then if you see pea flour, pea protein, and whole peas listed right after, well, if you add all those pea ingredients together, they almost certainly outweigh the chicken. You have to become an ingredient detective. And while you're at it, watch out for chemical preservatives like BHA and BHT. They've been linked to some really serious health problems.
Okay, now for mistake number 5, the fear of fresh food. For years, we've been told that dry kibble is the only thing that's complete and balanced. But let's be real, kibble is an ultra-processed food. Now look at this number on the screen, 90%. A major study from Purdue University discovered that just by adding some fresh, leafy green vegetables to a dog's diet 3 times a week, their risk of developing bladder cancer dropped by a mind-blowing 90%. And listen, you don't have to become a 5-star chef for your dog. Just start with easy toppers. Crack a raw egg over their kibble, throw in some steamed broccoli, add a sardine packed in water for those amazing omega-3s. These little additions bring so much life back into their bowl.
All right, this next part. This might be the toughest section for some of us to hear.
because it's all about the mistakes that aren't driven by a lack of knowledge, but by our own human emotions and our habits. Which brings us right to mistake number 6, overfeeding. Did you know that over 55% of dogs in the United States are overweight? We've somehow normalized this. We call them chunky or extra cuddly, but what we're really talking about is obesity, and it's a serious disease. It puts a crushing strain on their joints, on their heart, on their lungs, everything.
And this chart, well, it shows a truly shattering truth. A landmark study by Purina followed dogs their entire lives, and they found that the dogs kept at a healthy, lean body weight lived, on average, almost 2 years longer than their overweight littermates. Let that sink in. 2 more years. We think we're showing love with food, but real love is keeping them healthy enough to enjoy a long, pain-free life right by your side.
And here it is, the one I told you to watch for. Mistake number 7, toxic table scraps. This is the just one little bite trap. That tiny piece of fatty steak you slip them, it can trigger pancreatitis, a horribly painful and expensive condition where their pancreas basically starts to digest itself. And then you have the hidden killers. Onions and garlic destroy their red blood cells. Grapes and raisins can cause sudden kidney failure. And xylitol, that's a sugar substitute in peanut butter, yogurt, and gum, can be fatal to a dog in under 30 minutes. It is so important to remember, your plate is not their plate, period.
Now for mistake number 8, the boredom of the bowl. We've just kind of assumed that dogs should get their food for free. When you just dump their kibble in a bowl, you're turning what could be a 20-minute mental workout into a 30-second vacuum cleaning session. Dogs are hardwired to forage, to sniff, to solve problems. When you take that away, they get bored, and boredom leads to chewing your shoes and barking at nothing. Using a simple puzzle toy or a snuffle mat turns mealtime back into a satisfying job, which lowers their stress and makes them so much happier.
All right, let's head into our final section. Our dogs don't stay the same their whole lives, right? They grow and they change, and that means our feeding strategy has to evolve right along with them.
So you've done your research, and you've decided to switch their food. That's awesome. But this is where people make mistake number 9, switching way too fast. Your dog's gut bacteria, their microbiome, is perfectly tuned to what they eat every day. A sudden change is like a bomb going off in there. It causes what I call microbiome shock and leads to some really awful digestive upset. You have to follow the 7-day transition rule. You slowly introduce the new food, just like you see here, to give their system plenty of time to adjust. And finally, we've arrived at mistake number 10, ignoring the age gap. Think about it. You wouldn't feed a newborn baby the same thing you'd feed a 90-year-old grandparent, right? A large breed puppy needs very specific calcium levels so their bones don't grow too quickly and cause problems later. A senior dog, on the other hand, needs fewer calories but more high-quality protein to keep their muscles strong and maybe some joint support. Please don't just buy the same bag of food for 15 years. You have to respect their life stage. I know that was a lot, and right now, you might be feeling a little overwhelmed, maybe even a little guilty, thinking about all the mistakes you might have been making. Please, don't. We all do the best we can with the information we have. But the good news is, now you have new information. You don't have to fix all 10 of these things by tomorrow. Just pick one. Just one. Start by washing the bowl every single day, or wait that hour before you go for a walk. One small change is a huge step in the right direction. Because when it comes down to it, who are we really doing all of this for? It's for that good boy or that good girl who is probably sitting at your feet right now, just waiting for you to fill their bowl. I want you to do something for me. Go down to the comments right now and just type your dog's name. Let's fill this whole space with the names of the amazing dogs we are all promising to love just a little bit better, starting today. Our dogs give us their entire short lives. The very least we can do is make sure the food we put in their bowl is a source of health and joy, not harm. Thank you so much for watching. And for more ways to make sure you have a long, happy, and healthy life with your best friend, please make sure you subscribe to the Love Dogs channel. They deserve it.